Welcome to r/entitled people, where we share stories from your lives about people who think the rules don't apply to them and they should get what they want. And today we have 3 great stories, so subscribe, hit the like button, and let's begin. The first story. One disabled veteran tried to blame us when we reprimanded him. He wants to sue our manager. The second story. This is what happens when customers start working in retail. The third story. Woman demanded that I be fired for being callous to customers, but she failed. The first story is, I am a disabled veteran. Yesterday at work, I was the only cashier for 6 hours. It was kinda busy for a Tuesday, but I'm used to it. While I'm ringing someone out, a lady yells from the line that someone is causing trouble in the back of the store. I asked her what was going on, and she replied, a man back there is being very disruptive. He's yelling and cussing at his kid and pushing him into shelving. I had never been met with this situation before and wasn't sure what to do, so I called my manager on the radio and had the woman explain to him what was going on. As my manager goes back, the woman and a few other customers in line start to talk about this guy going completely overboard and shoving his 5-year-old child. Finally, the line starts to dwindle down, and the next customers I have seem to be talking about the situation too, so I asked what was going on, since I was stuck up front and hadn't seen it. Yeah, that was a huge mistake. This was the family. The guy that was accused of berating and punishing his son harshly was face to face with me. He starts going off. Apparently, I can't even discipline my own child. Name of our store think they know the law. You guys don't know the effing law. It's my effing kid. So I tell him that I wasn't even aware of what was going on, but he keeps yelling at me. Your manager said he was going to call the cops. Well, where the F are they? I shrugged and again said, I'm not even aware of the entire situation. His wife tells him to calm down and forget about it. Then he grumbles some more and they leave. I'm thinking, cool, it's all over and done with. Nope. A few hours later, I went to talk to my manager about changing my availability, and he says he just got off the phone with our district manager. Apparently, the guy called customer service and complained, saying things like the manager cussed me out and told me it was none of my business. He doesn't know the law. He told me he studied law in Florida. I'm a disabled veteran and I demand respect. If I don't get an apology from your store by tomorrow at 5 p.m., I will be suing. My manager, not the store. He wants to sue my manager specifically. I want him fired, blah blah blah. My manager is actually really cool, so he's just laughing the entire time reading us the guy's statement, where he includes his full name and a bunch of other information. My manager even went to his Facebook page and showed us all these pictures of him doing a variety of things and said he doesn't look disabled to me. Anyways, it's 2019. And basically every store has cameras, so my manager said he'll have our loss prevention guy go through the footage and send it to the police. Since none of the customers who actually saw it wanted to stick around, I had to write a report on what I saw. He tried to press pity on me by saying that he was an invalid veteran. I'll tell you, your manager's a smart man. Seeing his picture on social media was such a simple and ingenious decision. Haha. I didn't like the fact that he thinks that if he's a disabled veteran, he should automatically be respected. You earn respect. It is not given. Most people don't care at all if you're disabled or not. You want respect, you deserve it. This guy was probably a paper salesman who never saw any real action. The main payoff, at least to me, is his demand for respect for being a disabled vet. Most people who've actually seen something don't put it out there, and D sure don't demand respect for it. So this guy is a fake, and I hope he realizes his mistake. The next story is the woman who worked one day. I worked at a grocery store at a full-service meat counter. This means if you wanted any type of meat, steaks, chicken, fish, etc., not deli meats, you had to get it from me behind a counter. This place was also in a fairly rich neighborhood, so we had plenty of entitled customers. Names have been changed in this article. This is a long story I've been wanting to share for a while, so apologies for the wall of text. This is the story of a woman who worked only one day. This took place right after a massive storm took out power all across town. The town ended up without power for weeks, and our store just happened to be one of the first places to get it back. This woman was a regular customer, but not our typical clientele. She was most likely living on welfare, was very disheveled in appearance but not homeless, and loved to come into our store. Every time she came in, she would tell the cashiers how she was constantly applying for a job here, and once they gave her a job, everything would be perfect and her life would turn around. After a few months of this bragging, we decided to help her and actually gave her a job. She seemed like a lovely lady and we were short-staffed due to the storm. I wasn't there when she was told she got the job, but I heard she started sobbing and gave the store manager a hug, thanking him over and over until she left. On her first day, there was another small storm. This would be perfect for her, as the rain usually keeps out customers, limiting traffic so she can learn the basics easier. However, when the time came for her to clock in at 10, she was nowhere to be seen. We wondered where she was, hoping she was able to make it here okay. 10 minutes later, nothing. 15 minutes, still nothing. 20 minutes, we were really starting to get worried something may have happened to her. She finally shows up at 10:30, looking for the working assistant manager, Kelly. Kelly was Meat Manager's wife, and very good at her job. She usually trains the cashiers, as she's also the manager of the front end. So as Kelly is teaching the woman how to use our clock-in system, at this point we had one that scanned our hands and fingerprints to recognize who was clocking in. She mentions to the woman the fact that she is 30 minutes late to her shift. The woman casually says she's not late, and that she's actually perfectly on time. Red flag, count 1. Kelly then points to the screen on the hand scanner. Kelly, look, the clock here says 10:35. You showed up here 5 minutes ago and all I did was give you your employee ID. Woman, well, your clocks must be calibrated wrong then. You should really get that fixed. Red flag, count 2. So we work on getting her to a register to train her on the POS system, as she's only supposed to be there until 2. At 11:30, she notices the younger kids who were there before here going on lunch break. She decided that this is a good time to ask when she can take her lunch break. Woman, hey, Kelly, when can I go to lunch? Kelly, well actually, because you're only meant for a 4-hour shift, company policy dictates you don't get a break. You get 15 minutes with no punch-out for 5 hours, 15 with punch-out for 6 hours, and half an hour with punch-out for 7 and up. Woman, really? There's no way I can go out real quick? She tried to give Kelly crocodile tears and puppy dog eyes. Red flag, count 3. Kelly, I'm sorry, maybe later though. You've only been here for an hour. Fast forward 15 minutes to 11:45, where she once again piped up to Kelly. Woman, Kelly, do you think you can hold the front end down here? I need to use the restroom. Kelly agrees and the woman left to the bathrooms, which are located in the employee break room. A few minutes later, kids in the break room are reporting a terrible smell. After 15 minutes, the woman emerged from the women's room with the distinct smell of cigarette smoke. Red flag, count infinity. Our store is a strictly no smoking area. If you want to smoke, you have to do it outside. Kelly went into the ladies' room to investigate the smell, which had now started bleeding through the meat department as seafood is right next to the break room. And the woman had lit a cigarette, enjoyed her smoke, put it out on the toilet seat, melting the plastic and didn't flush it away. Reasonably peeved off, Kelly brought the woman to the back room and asked her what that was all about. She explained she thought that Kelly was being unreasonable to her, and since she couldn't take her smoke break with lunch, she decided that it would be best to take it in the bathroom. When asked why she had to melt the toilet seat, her only response was, "Where else am I supposed to put it? You guys don't do the whole smoking indoors thing." Knowing that she was aware of the smoking policy when she violated it was enough to force Kelly's hand into firing her. She consulted with the store manager and he agreed. When they gave her the news, her reaction was what we had more or less expected of her now. Kelly, I'm sorry woman, but you're fired. This is ridiculous. You've only been here an hour and a half. Woman, what? No. And I've been here 2 hours. I got here at 10. Kelly, you showed up at 10:30. You vandalized store property. Woman, because you're being so unfair to me. I should have a break. I've been here long enough to get one. Kelly, clearly very fed up with the interruptions now. Woman, get out. Woman, well, where's my paycheck? Kelly, you'll be able to get your paycheck next week on Tuesday. Your time here has not been processed yet. Woman, no, I demand my money now. I worked hard for it. You owe me exactly $16.71. Kelly, woman, you'll be able to pick up the check. Woman, no, F you. Where's store manager? I want my $16.71. SM, hearing the commotion, left his office. He didn't need to ask what was going on. The small store made it very easy to know what was going on. SM, woman, you'll not be getting any money until Tuesday next week. Woman, that's against the law. You have to pay me. SM, just leave already. You're lucky we don't charge you for the property you destroyed. Woman, well then where's my form? SM, form? Woman, so I can get my unemployment. SM, get out. You're not getting any forms. You're being charged for the property you've damaged, so you're not getting any paycheck. Leave now. She left to her car, peeled out all over the parking lot. This could be seen because the entire storefront is glass, and she drove in front of the store, flipping the bird at everyone before she left. Looking at the clock, she didn't even last in retail past 12:30. We never saw her again. Why would a woman want to get a job and then be so irritated about getting a job? It's very nice of you to decide to help her with this because she complained all the time. A friend of mine worked at a game store for 5 years, and for most of that time, one particular guy came in weekly to buy the latest and greatest games. This store was brand new when he started, And after about half a year, this guy started asking for work. He always complained about having to buy diapers and food. My friend always felt bad about his situation, but he always had a hunch. One day, my friend was approached by the store manager and asked, "What do you think of John Doe, that guy?" I said I had a bad feeling, which he seconded. From then on, the employees of that store made up stories about why they couldn't hire him, or why new employees came in. Later, my friend found out that this guy had been hired at the store across the street, and a week later he was fired for being a slacker. I was right. The last story is, I promise I wasn't making fun of your disability. When I was in high school, I worked for a skate, snowboard clothing store. It was an awesome high school job, in all honesty. 10 years later, this particular incident still sticks out in my mind. I was working the shoes section when I noticed a mother and son browsing the sale shoes. I came over and said, "Hi, are you looking for some shoes today? The sale shoes can be a bit disorganized, so I'm happy to help you find whatever size or brand or color you need. Or if you'd like to try on any of the regular price shoes from the wall, just let me know and I can grab your size from the back." The woman became visibly irate and demanded to speak with my manager so that she could get the phone numbers for our district and regional managers. She was so angry about what happened that it was above even the store manager, and she had to speak with someone with more authority. I was super confused and freaking out because I was 16 and just assumed I'd get fired for upsetting a customer, even if I had no idea why. My manager was also confused because she didn't indicate why she was upset, and I was one of the best employees there. The next time I was working, 2 or 3 days after the incident, our regional manager came to the store and asked to talk with me and my manager in the back. I knew that was it. I was getting fired from my very first job. Instead, he just burst out laughing. Apparently, the woman was partially blind in one eye and took incredible offense to my asking her what she was looking for, because I was clearly just making fun of her disability. She demanded that they fire me for being so callous. How could they employ such a cruel girl who goes around making customers uncomfortable? She would never be shopping there again. There was no indicator that she was even remotely hard of seeing. Even my manager admitted he had no idea she was partially blind, and was just stunned that she was upset about a very common phrase used in retail when trying to help customers. I had said that same phrase to thousands of people, and never once had anyone had an adverse reaction. Needless to say, I did not get fired, and my regional manager said it was the funniest and most ridiculous complaint he'd ever received about an employee. They didn't even write me up, which they're technically supposed to do for any customer complaints. I felt genuinely bad that I had hurt her feelings, though, but I wish she had left it at the store level so I could have just apologized then and there. I did, however, use the phrase, "What are you shopping for?" with every single customer for the following 2 years I worked there just in case. I wonder if she tried threatening to sue or something. I never bothered to follow up or ask more questions. I was just happy to not get fired. I think this lady just wanted to draw attention to herself and make trouble for someone else. She stays alone in the evenings and is sad about her life, so she spoils other people's lives during the day. People like the woman in this story deserve to be put in their place and told you were just doing your job, then got banned from the store for life for being such a jerk. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.